might not be a great idea. But let's focus on the small area of sky that doesn't look terrible. How you doing, Duff here? Out on the M Super. It's been stormy most of the afternoon. Not really raining, but being threatening. And it looks like there's something close right now, but I'm hoping I can kind of ride in between the raindrops. I'm actually feeling a little bit of spritzing right now. I've ridden a ridiculously little amount over the last 30 days. It's crazy how little I've ridden. As you can imagine, it's windy as well. Getting bounced around pretty good here. Should have seen yesterday for like a period of, I don't know, maybe an hour, hour and a half. It just dumped rain, man, like crazy. I'd guess that we probably had close to 3 inches of rain in like 90 minutes. And we actually had standing water on the property that thankfully got absorbed back into the ground overnight, but it was just a crazy amount of rain. And what's weird in Florida is how isolated that can be. Like I picked up Sadie this morning, and my ex-wife said that, who lives about 13, 14 miles away, said that they had absolutely nothing yesterday. So you just never know. And my goal here is to ride towards the school, which is kind of a stupid goal because that's where the skies are the grayest. I'm actually going right towards the storm, so yeah. No one ever can accuse me of being smart. Okay, so if you're watching this video, there's a very good chance that you have been also watching the videos coming out of New York City with the Z10, the 9-baud Z10 that's making his rounds up there, that was given to House of Job to test. Chris, I think his name is Chris Yim, I think. So yeah, he's really been putting out a lot of content as well as write-ups about his impressions of the Z10. And I would say for the most part, everything, not everything, but for the most part, the feedback has been positive. Much more so than I've heard up to this point. It seems like the speed was good. He speed tested it, and he hit the tilt back at like 28 miles an hour, which is faster than I would normally ever want to go on a wheel comfortably. So the top end speed seems to be as advertised. Heard no complaints about power. Acceleration seemed pretty good from what I would tell, which it seemed like that was one of the major knocks, as people were saying, because of its only having a 57, 58 volt system as opposed to an 84 or even 100 volt system, that the power just would not match up. But seems to me, at least the feedback that I've seen, is the power is there. It's, you should not be thinking that you're going to be getting an anemic wheel if you get a Z10. Really, it seems like most of the negative information that I've gotten from the review has to do with the tire, and primarily the difficulty that's associated with turning a wheel with a 4-inch wide tire, which is crazy. Like a standard electric unicycle tire is somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 1/4 inches, maybe something like that. 125. And some of the bigger wheels, like a Monster, I believe the wheel on that is 2.5 inches. The tire on that is 2.5 inches thick, but the 9-baud Z10 is 4 inches wide. So even though I saw videos of, I guess it was Chris, you know, doing tight turns like this on the Z10, it took some work to get there. And also, another thing that was somewhat surprising is, despite its large size, it doesn't seem to, because of the composition of the tire, it's a hard ride. You would think with having that much rubber underneath you, it would be good at absorbing bumps, but the feedback has been that it's kind of a stiff and jolting ride. Although I believe Chris has left some air out of the tire since then to kind of compensate for that, and it sounds like that helped a little bit, but it's not as forgiving as a ride as you would think with such a big tire on the wheel. He did say with the tire being so fat, like going slow like this is really, really easy, you know, because you have such a wide surface area making contact to the ground. Although I really never have a problem going really slow with a regular wheel either, so I'm curious what it'll be like on the Z10. They also said the trolley handle was you know, so-so, not a great trolley handle design, but I rarely use that, so that doesn't really bother me too much. The foot pedals on the model that they're testing still has the original 9x1 style pedals, which I mean, they're okay pedals, but compared to, like, for example, the V10F, they're dramatically smaller. So it would be nice if they decided to actually put the better pedals that were originally on display with the prototype on the production units. But as of now, that looks like that might not happen. They did not have the Z10 off-road at all. It was all road-based riding. I guess going off-road in New York City is not the is not the easiest thing. Oh, did I mention that I'm supposed to get that Z10? Maybe I should have mentioned that, but if things go as I believe the plan is, after it's done with its New York City tour, that very wheel is supposed to be making itself down here to Southwest Florida, and I'm going to put it through its paces in a probably very different way than what the NYC crew did. Actually, this will probably be one of the spots I take it, just to do basic agility training, not training, but testing, and see how I'm able to handle that kind of tire doing diverse, small, tight movements in a space like this. If I get home without being soaked, it would be a miracle, really. I think it's going to be interesting because I haven't ridden like some of the current stable of high power wheels, high power, high speed. You know, I have my original Monster and I have my 84 volt M10-3. That's definitely not a big, powerful wheel like one of the new M Super VS Pluses or the Inmotion V10F. So I'm curious how it's going to feel compared to my trusty M Super V3 that I'm riding right now. Okay, good. Some of the footage I saw from them testing in New York, T-Shawn was on the wheel, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. I know that's the way they normally ride, but man, oh man. And I know bike messengers have ridden that way in New York City forever, but it just seems so reckless and so crazy and so dangerous. But that's what they do. And of course he didn't have safety equipment on. I guess he got called like on short notice, so he didn't have an opportunity to go get his safety equipment, but he was riding it with, you know, no safety equipment, flying down the streets, zipping in and out of cars. And yep, I saw on the electric unicycle forum, other people were like, wow, that just seems crazy. And it does, but it's a different world up there for sure. My test rides will not be exhibiting any of that kind of behavior. So yeah, I have no idea when I'm supposed to get the wheel. I don't know how long it's staying in New York City. I haven't heard any details other than supposedly I'm on the list, so hopefully that is the case. Should be a lot of fun. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. And supposedly the new KingSong 18L is supposed to go through a similar circuit, so that would be awesome. I think it's going to be a really nice thing for me to be able to test those two wheels before I decide which one I'm actually going to ultimately buy. So I do have a deposit down with Jason from E-Wheels, but as of now I am not 100% sure what wheel I want to buy. It'd be sweet if we got to do the same thing with a M Super X. That'd be really cool. Hey, how do you like those little pad supports that Matthias came up with? The 3D printed pad supports that just kind of nudge the pads out towards the front so your legs naturally can lock into them when you're trying to lean forward. I thought it was a pretty ingenious idea. I don't do enough of that kind of riding that I think I really need it, but another great idea by Matthias. Super cool. Swoosh. All right, so I don't want to push my luck too much. I'm going to start heading back to the house. Headlight on for safety. Just got a beep from the M Super. Doesn't feel like I'm going that fast. It says my battery's at 40%. I don't think I've charged it in a little while. I don't think I've charged it after my last ride, but I didn't expect to be at 40% battery either. Sky like that means you're in trouble. Hopefully it stays that direction and doesn't move our way, but it doesn't look good. Oh, FYI, there's a new stand design that's going to be posted to the store tonight, I think. Version 3.5. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Doggies. Wait. Hi, Sadie. Elsa, good girl. You made it. You didn't get wet. You should see how black the sky is up the street. Oh yeah. Super wet. Alright, so another good ride. If you found this video enjoyable, please give a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. And until next time, Duckman out.